All right, so going over 7.1 practice A, the sum of the measures of an interior angles of a heptagon. A heptagon is a 7-sided figure. Go ahead, Nyla. What did you do to solve that one? So can I put my 7 in for n?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Then what?
Times 180.
And what did you get?
I subtracted the parentheses and I did 5 times 180.
900. Cool, exactly. Now that was like numbers 1 through 3 in your extra practice in your notes. Number 2 was like the 4, 5, and 6 in the extra practice in your notes. Go ahead, Jamar. How'd you do number 2? Set it up. Nice. So you use that method that we learned in the Maintaining Math Proficiency, divide by 180 on both sides. So that takes us to n minus 2 equals what? N minus 2 equals 17. If n minus 2 is 17, I'm just moving this. It's going to be a 19-sided figure. We would call that a 19gon. After 10, we don't have names. We call that a 19gon. Now in number 4, if I remember correctly, for 4 being a pentagon, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the sum of the angles in a pentagon has to add to 540. Don't forget to subtract away this 90 degrees. If you take 540 minus the 122, 190, and 144, what's left? Why did I skip number 3? 174? Okay, got that. Why, that's not right. Yeah, take 9. I bet you forgot your minus 90. Yep, you forgot your minus 90 if you had 174. Why did I skip number 3? I'll go back. I don't know. Now I was like looking up at people walking in and stuff, and I just kind of went from number 2 to the picture. Now in number 3, sorry about that, there's actually a lot going on in 3. Each interior and exterior, so each interior and exterior of a regular 30gon. Exteriors, no matter what, are always 360. To get to each, you divide by the number of sides. I'm just doing that one first because it's easier. What's 360 divided by 30? 12? So each exterior is 12 degrees. Make sure they're labeled up. That was one thing that I kind of saw math going on, but nothing really clear about what was what on papers. And then what's the sum of, okay, so for interiors, what do we got to do? 30 minus 2 times 180. And what did you guys get for the sum of the interiors? 5040. And then I've got to take the 5040, divide it by 30 to get back to each. What was that? I feel like it was like 168 or something. 5040 divided by 30. Bless you. 18? Okay, where did I get the other? 18 degrees. Oh, yeah, I know how. So that was each interior. Is this 18? 168. That's what I thought. I had 168 in my mind. 168. Okay, there we go. Now, in number 5, how many sides does 5 have? What's the number of, what's the sum of the angles in 5? 1, 2. It's a hexagon, so it has to add to 720. If you erase, or if you erase, is it Monday morning? What is going on here? If you subtract all these values from 720, what are you left with here for x? 125? Yeah. Hearing it from a few people. Fantastic. Number 6, find the measures of x and y. Just notice in these that those mean that they're the same. They're congruent to each other. This is a 360. Go ahead, Jamar. I'll write while you talk. So you put 120 and 90 together. What's that? 210? Okay. Take away 210 from 360. I'm left with 150. And that's split between x and y. That's going to make angle x equal to 75 degrees. And angle y is also going to be equal to 75 degrees. Split that 150 in half to go here. Now, how many sides do we got on this one?
Wait a minute.
6 sides, hexagon. I'm listening.
I got the 150, but all the stuff after that.
So once you got down to the 150, that's the measure of the angles, the sum of x and y together. 150 is left to split between those two. And since they're marked congruent, like don't forget that those little markings mean X and Y are the same measure. So that's why I said, okay, if I got 150 to split between the two of them, 75 each. Better? 720, just make sure that you're not forgetting about subtracting away this 90-degree angle. We're in the same situation. Whatever we have left from 720 can be split between these two. How much is left? 720 minus 450. How much is left? Splitting 270 between those is going to be angle X is 135. Angle Y is also 135. Like I said, it looked like you guys had a pretty good handle on this, particularly in first hour. I know my other classes are going to be watching this, but you guys yesterday, first hour, you did great. Number 8 and 9, these are exteriors. The reason I know they're exteriors is because all the angles are marked on the outside. Always on exteriors, 360. Always on exteriors, 360. Doesn't matter, that n minus 2 times 180 is only for interiors. If you subtract everything away from 360 and number 8, what are you left with for these two x's? It leaves 152? All right, so the two x's is 152. So if I divide by 2, x is 76. And that's actually going to be a measure in degrees. Perfect. Now, subtracting away from 360, the 90, the 109, the 73, what's left? 72? 360 minus 90 minus 109 minus 73. This is 272. So 360 minus 272. Okay, so X is 88 degrees. And you could go right into your calculator and do all this subtraction, but I appreciate Jamar giving me these sums. That everything that was given was the 272. I see a lot of you guys marking on your paper. Would you forget the 90 degrees?
It's right here.
Oh, no, I don't know. I just see a lot. Do you need something to write with, sweetie?
Yeah.
Here. All right. Pentagon has 3 angles that are congruent. The words on the bottom of the page actually are a problem. A pentagon has 3 angles that are congruent and 2 angles that are supplementary to each other. Find the measure of each of the 3 congruent angles in the pentagon. Now, I had drawn and given a hint to this. It wasn't on this paper. Where is my paper? Oh, well. So the hint that I gave to this is I went and I drew a pentagon. My drawing was not great. That's a fact. And I said, all right, 2 of the measures, let's just say these 2 angles A and B, they told us they were supplements. And supplements means that they add to 180. This is a pentagon. It's got to all add to 540. They told us that the other 3 angles are then congruent to each other. So if I take my 540 minus 180, I believe that leaves me with 360 degrees. And then I'm going to take that 360, and that's what's left for these 3, and they're all the same. So my 360 divided by the 3 angles is going to tell me that each of those are 120. Regardless of what A and B are, we know they're going to add to 180, so these other angles have to be the 120, 120, 120. Sweet.